Welcome, comic lovers. Garvin, the old comic guy, coming at you with this week's comic shout-outs. So, some pretty cool stuff out there. You may see that I have a backdrop basically protecting you from the horrific experience of looking at my garage. Let's get right into the comic shout-outs. So first up this week, 23 Monch. He says it kind of fast though. 23 Monch. Yeah. He's an artist, which is really cool. 826 videos on his channel. His site says, "Welcome to my channel. I'm into sports card collecting, comic books, and toy collectibles. Hoping to share some personal experiences as well. Hope you enjoy them and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Also love to hear and interact with people. Have a good day and live life to the fullest. Thank you." Which is awesome. Currently he has been working on a Spider-Boy and a kind of Scotty Young-esque Spider-Man and Venom. He has a bunch of these arts that he's done, and they're usually like a bust, right? So he does full, like the Spider-Boy is a full, but he also has a bunch of busts that he's done, and he's basically doing artwork winner videos where he's giving them away. Does a lot on his, he does a feed, which is Saturdays, and Saturdays are just not a good day for me, so I'm not usually on, but if you get a chance, please take a look, and if you like his stuff, maybe you want to like and subscribe. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. He does comic haul videos. He does the artwork and community challenges and all that sort of stuff. The video I'm going to call out is last week's. Well, I guess it's the week before last. Man, time flies. So the week before last, he is artwork winner and entry video for the next week's artwork giveaway, number 22. And so he did a drawing for a collection of a bunch of his art, and he picked, he didn't pick, he uses a, kind of like I had done for the giveaway I'd done, where puts them on a wheel, does the spinning. I think Trev won that. It was a Skeletor. Yeah, so in fact, I'll be honest, he had another drawing probably yesterday. Not probably, it would have been yesterday. And I don't know who won because I haven't looked at it yet. But I wanted to get this out first, and then I can get to relax and kind of do my video watching. So, a wonderful little pieces of artwork, and that he gives it away. I think that's so cool. And I like his art. I actually genuinely, for the most part, like, there's not a lot I don't like that he does. So yeah, pretty cool. If you get a chance, take a look at him. And on that theme of art, just because it happened to be. So that's my first one, 23 Monch. 2 is Philtastic Comics and Art. Yeah, see the art theme? We're going to get rid of it. It's not really a theme. Okay, it just happened. Philtastic, 330 videos-ish, right around there. He does mail calls, reviews, community challenges, lots of fun stuff. He was sick a couple weeks ago, and last I saw, it looked like he was feeling better, so that's good. Officially fun, informative, and sometimes quirky videos for everything. Philtastic comics, stand-up comedy, art, and more. And the video I'm going to call out is his Philtastic comic book review of Freak Force #1 from 1993, and they had appeared in Savage Dragon, and he kind of mentions that he was collecting Savage Dragon at the time. That would have been volume 2, I think, but he didn't. So he saw the ad and stuff, but he didn't get into it then. As we often do as we're young, we can't afford to buy everything we want to buy, and so but as we get older, we have more disposable income, and we're just children. I really don't know that I'd call it disposable. We prioritize our fun over some things, or maybe we're better at managing our money. I don't know. Anyway, so he had it, and he was doing a review of it, which I thought was pretty neat. So that would be the second one. So 23 Munch, Philtastic comics and art, and then number 3, comic book historians. This is Alex Grand. I'm thinking that most people know about this, but I could be wrong. I waited for the dogs to quiet down. 257 videos. He is a I'm going to call him a journalist. I am. Totally. He is the writer of Understanding Superhero Comic Books, which was published by McFarland and Company. The creator of the Comic Book Historians, which has its own website. It has, all the social media stuff that I'm not that great at. And he's on YouTube. And he's actually had some of his stuff published in some of his interviews that have been published in things like Alter Ego, or been used and referenced in them, which I think is pretty cool. So he says, dedicated to creating a multimedia experience, to learning the intricacies of journalistic comic book history, to fit the comic books and strips that we know and love into a visual historical context. Who created what? Why was it created? Where did all these stories and characters come from? What do they say about our country or world at those points in time? Why does that matter? If these characters weren't always this way, how did they get created? This is a place where research is presented with facts and an overall picture to get to at the truth, whether it's an interview, article, podcast, interactive Facebook group, Instagram, or YouTube channel. And if you know me and you're familiar with this channel at all and you've seen some stuff, I'm going to suggest, the video, of course, I'm going to suggest is his most recent video with Roy Thomas. It's Roy Thomas biographical interview by Alex Grand, and it came out like a week ago. And it's about 2 hours long, hour and a half or whatever. And of course, anytime I get to listen to Roy talk about what's going on or what was going on during the time, I think it's amazing. I'm a big Roy Thomas fan. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while know that. I love almost everything that he's done. I say almost because I don't know everything he's done, because I think he's one of those that's going to be, he's genuinely going to be somebody like a Gardner Fox, or somebody that you just don't even realize how much they did until, well, hopefully not before it's too late. He's just done so much and has affected so much of the comics that I love, and the stories that the writers and artists currently are referencing, right? I think that's so huge. And so anyway, he's that video is of course my choice. The Comic Book Historians, though, is just an awesome place to watch interviews, discussions on, because I do, without a shadow of a doubt, believe that comics were necessary for us as a culture. And I do believe that escapism was needed. I also believe that there was opportunities in that escapism to form the future that we're living in. Good or bad, some were good, some were bad, but that genuinely happened. And I don't think we can neglect that when we talk about the history. I've taken a couple of historic classes on comic art, and I've shared that once or twice, I think. But I just think it's amazing through all the different experiences I've had of exploring how they're like a little time capsule of what was going on in the world during that time. And one of the things I love about Roy is he's honest with that, and he really targets, well, what's the research? What do I know? What was shown? Where are the pictures? Where was this really happening? And he's so well read that he's able to reference things that people don't realize were being done then. There's a scene in Captain America and Winter Soldier where Sam and Bucky are discussing a wizard versus a sorcerer or something. And Sam says, well, haven't you read Lord of the Rings? Or The Hobbit, or whichever one he references. I don't remember specifically. This was a while ago, obviously. And Bucky's like, yeah, when it came out. And I think that, like, that puts in context, like, wait, he was a young man. Those were, I mean, let's be honest, Tolkien wrote The Hobbit as a kid's book. He did not write The Hobbit for adults. Albeit adults enjoy it, but he wrote it as a kid's book, not like a little kid's book, but, you know, somebody who was starting to do the deep reading, and it was amazing. Now, I'm not that old. I didn't read it in the 40s, right? I'm not like, but I did read it as a child. It was a formative book. And I think to put that in context, like, okay, well, when did it come out? Oh, in the 40s. Okay. He wrote it then. Like, he read it then. Sets up, like, really how old and how knowledgeable the character may be that you don't even think about. And I think that's some amazing things. And Roy did that well. I think it's an aspect that Alex points out. Like, we get to see history unfold, and we're snapshots. The comics written today are snapshots of what's going on in our world today. And I think that's always been the case. And I love that he addresses that and throws that in there. Don't get me wrong, comics are escapism. They are fun. They're meant to be. They're meant to be an idea for us to say, wow, that was amazing. You know, I enjoyed that so much. By the same token, 100 years down the road, somebody's going to look at those and be like, wow, this is what they were going through in early 2000s, right? 220. That were, what are we, 223? Or 2023, right? The early thousands. And I know you may not be thinking this is early thousands because maybe you were born in the 2000s, but genuinely it's early in the century. And I think perspective's gonna really look at art as something that tells us something. Just like we look at stuff from the 1920s and the 1930s and say, wow, look at what they were going through. You know, the paper shortages, the struggle to really just feel safe while everyone was struggling for every cent. Like, that was going on. But there was also people writing about a country trying to take over the world or trying to hurt people. And we weren't even to the war yet. I'm talking 20s and 30s, before we enter World War II. The U.S. enters World War II. Like, that's amazing. So I really think it can be deep, and I think that Alex does a good job of keeping it light while still talking about those real issues and the history, the beautiful history that we love. And his interviews with people, with creators that were around. I mean, obviously Roy is one of the ones that's been around for so long. But there's other books, the other artists and creators, which I think are amazing also. So if you get a chance, check them out. So first up, we have 23 Munch. We have Philtastic Comics and Art. And then we have Comic Book Historians. Please, if you get a chance, take a look at their sites, their YouTube channels. If you like them, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't like them, that's okay. It's all right. Not everybody's going to like everything. All right, you guys, have a wonderful Sunday. You guys take care of each other. Have a good day.